Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the best new mods of the week in Baldur's Gate 3's mod manager. We got a lot of great ones this week, like this new face mod that comes with 7 different faces. We also got a bunch of different class mods, some different items, as well as we got the highly anticipated final mod from Graphic Fade with their paladin equipment mod. So we're breaking all of that down in this video. The first one I want to start with is another mod by Eclipse. So they've made a lot of my favorite new class mods, and this is their new Valkyrie class mod. So you may know them for their War Dancer or the Tensura, the time I got reincarnated as a slime mod, or even the Succubus. I've covered a lot of their mods previously because I'm a huge fan of them. But the Valkyrie, this is cool. As a fan of Greek or Norse mythology, this comes with a lot of cool things. So there's the 3 different subclasses, the Maiden of War, Daybreak, or Valhalla. And at level 1, you can choose the following gods to receive a new special or a passive from Heimdall, Skadi, Euler, Baldur, and Vidar. So this is really cool. I will get into showing off this class near the later part of the video. I just want to briefly touch on it because it's a very cool one, but I'll show you all the leveling, or I guess all the stuff that comes with this class a little bit later on. Now, as far as class mods go, we also got ourselves the Sword Mage class mod made by Beat Around My Bush. And what's cool about this is you can summon in these spectral swords to attack with. So the Sword Mage is a spellcaster that conjures blades to cut down foes, main hand weapon damage plus strength and intelligence, level 20. And there's 2 different styles you can go with. So there's the 1 sword style and the 4 sword style. This is a cool class. Again, I will also show this one off a little bit later on in the video. I just want to go to some of the quicker ones first and just show those off. We also got ourselves an awesome mod, the Surgeon Rogue subclass mod made by the Wailing Bard. The Wailing Bard's also made a lot of really great class mods, so you may have seen some of them. The Guardian Fighter, the Ruffian Strength-Based Rogue, the Commoner, the War Mage, the Dragon Patron, the Investigator, the Rage Mage, the Poverty Domain, which I belong with, the War Mage class, the Warlord class beta, College of Command, and much more. I previously touched on their Divine Right Kingly Sorcerer mod, which came out a couple weeks ago, and they're on a roll with these mods. This is the Surgeon, which is a cool rogue subclass. Again, I'll show this off in a little bit. The Wailing Bard is also in my Discord server, so links in the description if you want to go check that out. And a lot of mod talk in there, and this is a really fun subclass for the rogue. We also got ourselves the Z4HR4 Hot Presets mod by Z4HR4. So this gives a bunch of new face mods. You can see there on my character, I'm rocking one of these here, and yeah, they kind of look a little angry, but Minthara also looks angry, and Minthara is one of their favorites. So you can see here what this ends up looking like on a human. So it actually looks a lot better than the half elf. They just have a little bit of a different change to them, but the human face here. So this is the ZP Rhea. If you're a WWE fan, you probably know that name. We got this one here as well. These look amazing, and they're hot presets. They're meant to be hot. And we also got Eris here. So these are great. I love new head mods, especially when they look great like this. There's also ones for the guy characters too. So if you look at, we'll just edit this one here. So we got like the ZP Cedric here. So this is one of the new face mods. And then the ZP Helios. There's another one. This one looks a little more polite and kind. This No Stub Lucius. And then we also got ourselves the Stub Lucius. So this one just has light subtle stubble on his face. So yeah, we got ourselves those 7 new head mods, as you can see here. So some of them look really great depending on, I guess, what race you select, but 7 new ones, 3 female, 4 male heads for elves, high wood drow, half elf, humans, and tieflings. So pretty cool. I'm a big fan of more head mods, and the more that we get, the more the merrier. So that's awesome. We also got the Oath and Order Paladin equipment mod by Graphic Fade. This is the one that I've been waiting for. This and the Sorcerer, which the Sorcerer dropped a couple weeks ago. What is awesome about this mod is it adds in a ton of new gear to the game. So these are all the Paladin items. So it's, if you've used Graphic Fade's mods before, the Fade equipment distribution randomly assorts the mods in different areas. In Act 1, you get the Greatsword of the Smite Weaver. When casting any smite spell, your next melee weapon does additional 1d8 of force damage. Pretty cool. And then the Mace of Aura Reproach. While wielding this mace, you will meet an aura of divine disapproval, and it'll give a -1 attack rolls to all those in it. That's great because the Paladin has a lot of aura attacks, which are really cool. This one makes the enemy take radiant damage if you cast a smite spell. This ring, whenever you use your channel oath, there's a 10% chance that you don't expend the usage. When casting your lay hands, you heal additional 1d6. Helm of the Vigilant Watchman, you can't be surprised. You can see in dark up to 12 meters. Breastplate and monster slaying, 1 less piercing damage, and when you hit a monstrosity or aberration, which is a mind flayer as well, you regain health points equal to your charisma modifier. This here, the Smite Guard Cloak, when casting any Smite spell, you get a +1 armor class till your next turn. When casting Divine Smite, you don't proc opportunity attacks for the rest of your turn, and you gain the ability to cast command once per short rest. So without spending any spell slots, which is really nice. At level 2, you get yourself the Holy Maul of Binding. So once per turn, when the wielder hits a creature, they must succeed a strength saving throw or have movement reduced to 0 for 2 turns, which is insane. The Holy Avenger Longsword, your attacks deal additional 1d8 radiant damage when your attacks, and then if it's an undead, deals additional 2 to 16 radiant damage, and you give a +4 bonus to all saving throws. So that's obviously very strong. Banish the Unholy from this ring. This will give you additional health on your other lay hand, so up to 10. When casting Divine Smite, you have a 50% chance to regain the spell slot. Really good. Helmet of the Fiend Hunter, additional 1d4 radiant damage against Fiend or Undeads. Breastplate of Celestial Judgment. When you attack a Fiend, Undead, Monstrosity, Aberration, you deal additional radiant damage equal to your Paladin level per turn. And then also the Cloak of this gives us temporary health points equal to the level of the spell plus Charisma modifier for 3 turns when you do a Divine Smite. Boots of the Celestial Protection. Fiends, Undead, and Aberrations have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. And the Sacrificial Gift, which is a healing cantrip. As for the level 3 gear, I'm just burning through these quickly. Oathkeeper Blade. Once per long rest, you can expend a Channel Oath charge. Your next melee attack will deal additional radiant damage, 2 to 16. Celestial Wrath class action on the Orb of Celestial Watch. So this is a ring. And when you equip that, you get this spell here, which does an 8d10 of radiant damage. And it uses up a Channel Oath charge too. So we got the Chalice of Divine Wrath ring. Your weapon attacks deal additional 2 to 8 radiant damage on creatures affected by radiating orbs. So you want to stack those as much as possible. The Holy Light of the Everlight, or Holy Symbol of the Everlight. The symbol emits a light in a 15-meter radius, dispelling any darkness. Yourself and all allies who are within the radius regain the maximum amount of health points and get advantage on death saving throws. And when you expend a lay hands charge, a flash of light expends and blinds all creatures within 3 meters. That's huge. Shield of the Sacred Ire. You can reflect and deal additional 1d8 of radiant damage to an attacker. Helm of the Holy Crusader. When you roll a 1 or a 2 with a Divine Smite spell, that spell is rerolled once. Very nice for overall damage. Breastplate of the Divine Defender. Basically inflicts Moonbeam on enemies within 2 meters, and even in addition, enemies within 9 meters have -2 to attack rolls. It's like a more powerful version of the other one. Cloak of the Sacred Power. 30% chance you don't expend your Channel Oath. Huge. And when casting Divine Smite, you deal an additional 1d4 radiant damage once per attack. And finally, Gauntlet Celestial Haste. When casting Divine Smite, you get Heavenly Haste for 3 turns, only once per combat. Pretty crazy. So yeah, that is the highly anticipated Oath in Order. I know I yapped for a little while about these items, but really excited to see this mod finally come out. And that's the final class mod from Graphic Fade, so hopefully we'll see a combined version of them. Now, we also got this one here. This one highly reminds me of the Blade of Millennia. If you've played Elden Ring, you'll know that item. This really reminds me of it. I was having issues. I tried to summon this one in, so you're just going to settle for the images here. I've been troubleshooting this for an hour now, and I don't know why I can't get this mod to appear. I had to uninstall it. Yeah, anyways, this is what it looks like. It's awesome. Huge katana. If you've played Elden Ring, you know what this is all about. It's one of the hardest bosses in the game, and you get this as a weapon from it. Really cool. Skirby rocks it with all their mods. They made the lightsaber mod and many others. This is a commissioned one, and someone's requesting Moog's Trident, which I think would also be kind of cool. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Hina Tessera Golden Katana. Now, this is one that I think is awesome. This mod made by Freya here, the Druid Wild Shape add-ons. So, no longer do you have to settle for one color of the owl bear. You now have multiple. And this goes for the wild shapes. I love this. As someone that loves customization and character creation, this just fits perfectly. So like for the wolves, you can change to different colored versions of those. The regular bear, you can be a polar bear, you can be a black bear. And then for the leopard, they got different colors there. You got the snow one, really nice. And then you got yourself different versions of the Scratch. You got the black one and the German Shepherd version. A lot of different changed versions, as well as the cats. So you can even be a hairless cat. And also you got this here, so you can be different types of ravens. So this is the I guess the Druid Wild Shape add-on. So this adds all these different colored ones to each of the versions of the wild shape charge that you get. I like this. More customization, the better, in my opinion. So really cool. I have a lot of good things to say about a mod like this. So yeah, just want to showcase that one. And we also got ourselves, this is another mod by Azazel Was Taken. They made a lot of mods. This one is the Temple of Baal redone. So the redesigned version changes a lot of the appearances on how the characters look. So I was a big fan of their Shire version of this. This is another really great one. So changes the outfit on Orin to make it a little bit more darker. Changes the appearance of the blades. Changes the Slayer appearance as well. So this is just a visual override for a lot of different things. They've made some other cool ones. Like I'll just briefly pull up. Like they've done the Shadowheart redesign, the Church of Shire redesign. I like this one because it changed the shield to make it have a purple emblem there, which I feel fits much better. This isn't from this week, but just want to show some of their other mods because they've done a great job with them. Now we also got this one. This is cool. Talona's Curses and Maladies. So what this does is it gives you a lot of negative effects to take. And with this, like there's so many buffs that you can give to your character. So Minervu made this mod. You can see here like all the different negatives. So you can make it so you get blindness, attack rolls against you have advantage, blah, blah, blah. Anxiety disorder, how easily overwhelmed, you're prone to panic attacks. Every time you get feared, you become stunned for 1 turn. So these are cool because it gives you some negative effects. There's also an item that comes with this mod, so you can get the Talona's Primordial Malady, which is a staff that does 1d8 poison damage, and also additional necrotic damage. And then it comes with a few different of the spells. So whenever you use this, you get the Talona's Curses, which gives you all these different curses you can apply to the enemies. So pretty cool. It's got like the Golden King's Curse, the Spell Rot, and many more negative effects. So I'm a big fan of anything that makes the game a little bit more challenging. You got this Divine Restoration, which can remove all the maladies, and then here's all the maladies here. So yeah, there's a lot of them to cover. I'm not going to break down everything because it's just a lot of cool negative effects. So yeah, this is a fun one, and definitely cool if you want to do any type of challenge run. I know there's a lot of different difficulty mods that are popping up, so here's just another. So yeah, this mod, Minervu, Talona's Curses and Maladies. And this is an awesome one. So the base game does not have that many hand crossbows. This mod by Tokolos is going to add a ton of new ones. There's only like 4 hand crossbows in the game, so to get that many more is huge. So you can see here, this one does like cold damage against attackers, against cold and frosted targets. I'm a big fan of cold damage, so I like that. This one does extra psychic damage against frightened targets. And the thing that's nice about this mod is none of these feel overpowered. They'll feel like literal base game items. So that is something that I think is really nice, giving items that are not brokenly powerful. Like this one here makes additional thunder damage against off-balance targets, and you can knock them off balance with the Gust of the Mistral. So they fit very well. There's 20 new hand crossbows defined, and yeah, this is just a nice little mod that just adds something that I think the game needs more of. Cloaks and hand crossbows. There's not too many of either of those. So yeah, this is a great mod. And this is just a funny one I just want to touch on, the Underpants Gnomes. This makes little gnomes that go and steal your underpants. If you've ever watched South Park, you'll know what this one's all about. So pretty funny. So yeah, this mod made by Game Chemom Escrow here. You may know them for some of their other mods like the Random Spawn Generator, Treasure Goblins. Now we got ourselves the Treasure Pan, or the Underpants Gnomes. Pretty cool. But getting back into the class mods, these are very well done. So the Maidens of Valhalla Valkyrie class, what this ends up looking like. So it's got this really nice icon here. And you get the Norse Battle Spirit. Norse creatures generate divine favor by pleasing their gods, fighting enemies and healing enemies. Allies or praying to the gods are some of the things that can generate divine favor. So you get the class passive. So this one you can teleport to any range using Heimdall. I love that. The Rainbow Bridge. Scotty's World of Ice. So this creates Trail of Ice wherever you go. Really fun. True Sight. You can see through any illusions of visible objects. Baldur's Gate, the Light of Baldur, can unlock any objects. That's just the knock spell. Invitor's Thirst for Vengeance, generate more divine favor while in combat. So what this ends up looking like is pretty funny. So you can see here, we're making the ice surfaces wherever we run, and then people just end up slipping and falling on them. So yeah, they try to avoid you because the ice will just make them slip. Poor Owlbear Club. But yeah, so once we, I love this. Once we get to our next levels, we get ourselves like the Sundering Strike. You can deal weapon damage and reduce armor class by 2 if you hit, increase their damage taken by 1d4. So there's some pretty powerful effects that you can get with this. And you get the class feature. You can hit when you hit an enemy, call on Odin and smite them, dealing additional 1d10 radiant. The action Valkyria's wings fly to a position. And you can create an air jar, which is select a fallen ally. They come back to life as an air jar to keep fighting. Subclass features. So 3 different ones. Maiden of Daybreak. This one will give you +1 to saving throws and can cast First Light as a bonus action. Then it says the playstyle, so it's defense supportive. This one is balanced, so nearby allies immediately die when being down. You can cast Valhalla, create Iron Jar is a bonus action. And the Maidens of War get a +1 to attack rolls and can cast Sundering Strike without having to use Divine Favor. This one's the offensive version of it, so I'll just roll with that because that's what most people like to play as. At level 4, increase jump distance and movement speed. And then also get the Brutal Swing. Swing your weapon in a large arc to hit up to 3 enemies at once. What's nice about that is it keeps the weapon damage. It's unlike some of the other cleaves which will have your damage, or the Battle Master version which just uses a 1d10. This gets the extra attack, favor the gods, you become immune to disease, and you also get the Norse ancestry. You can talk to human corpse is basically just the speak with the dead spell. At level 6, you get the Purging Light, remove all negative effects, and subclass feature at start of combat, deal 2 to 20 slashing damage to the closest enemy within 18 meters. Pretty cool. And at level 7, we get ourselves the Deny Life, block all healing to a target, an Aura Veil. Nearby allies gain Aura Veil at the start of regenerating their health for 5 turns. As we continue through the ranks, we get another class feature, +1 armor class after taking damage, can stack, so you can really buff yourself up and get real beefy. At level 9, we get our Iron Jar. If an Iron Jar kills an enemy, they come back to life. Huge. And Fearmonger. Weak enemies are scared of you and become fearful of close to you. Awesome. Fear is really fun to use. Level 10, Divine Herald. Celestial Radiance in the light of the heavens. So this is basically like, I'll show you in just a second here. Level 11, Ares, Aegis of Light, shield an ally with Divine Barrier. They cannot take damage if struck from an outside source. Pretty nice. And then for the level 12, we get ourselves the Odin's Judgment Annihilation. This does 3d10 Radiance, 3d4 Slashing, and Force. Pretty strong. Now, what this ends up looking like, and we got water puddles now, which will now end up spreading into ice again. But you got all these different attacks here. You can fly around. Divine Armaments, you can imbue your weapon, you can deal additional poison, necrotic damage, or I guess that's just the weapon damage, and increase your armor class by 2. It's just the weapon I'm using. So this here, Celestial Radiance, you can apply this to yourself, and then this creates a large light beam on your character, and those that come within 2 meters of it are taking 3 to 12 radiant damage. So, oops, that's not good. All right, well, that was very, very messy, and everyone is now, unfortunately, knocked out. So, oh, sorry, Withers. Yeah, that was quite a mess. Now, for the Sword Mage, it's a little less chaotic. You got the Seal Sword, so you can remove sword visualizations. So this gives us the different attacks and cantrips that allow us to make these swords appear. So this can summon a sword. We got the 1 or 4 sword style, and I'm going to show you the 4 swords, because obviously 4 is greater than 1. You get different cantrips, so you can do the weapon strike from above. We can thrust ahead, break free, and also cleave. So you can do a few different weapon attacks with this. And I think it's awesome because this is I like any type of spectral weapon. Like spiritual weapon is a lot of fun. And with this, you got yourself like different attacks that you can do. And then we can summon our swords. So we'll do that there. We're creating these swords that just appear above our character. I love that. So this is really cool. And I'll be posting a build guide on this at a future date as well, because I think this is a very well done class mod. Now for the Surgeon Rogue, this gives us the Surgical Strike. Your weapon attacks while attacking humanoids, beasts, giants, monstrosities, and undead. You need to roll critical hits reduced by 1. Additionally, when you trigger sneak attack, you're going to replace your sneak attack damage with a special effect. And we also get the anatomical studies. You are proficient in both medicine and nature. And whenever you make a medicine check, you treat a roll of a 7 or below as an 8. Additionally, if it's higher, you can use your intelligence to place your wisdom for medicine checks. And your surgeon feature will use a higher of intelligence or wisdom to determine your save DC. We get the Surgical Strike. There's a cripple, which will reduce target's movement speed and by 1.5 times your surgeon modifier. We also have the this one, so that makes opportunity attacks against you, or they can't take opportunity attacks against you, and you must subtract your surgeon modifier from this next saving throw. This will infect the target, giving them poison, and then this one will maim them, making them blind, which is actually really, really effective. And then we also get the cunning action, throw a healing potion. Throw a healing potion from your inventory. It will not deal damage unless it's thrown at an enemy. And that's nice because I've dealt damage to my team, knocking them out with that. So that's really nice to have that ability to be able to throw them. And uncanny dodge, the regular benefits of a rogue, which is more defensive versus offensive, but the surgeon is meant to be a pretty fun class. So again, mods made by the Wailing Bard there, and they did a really great job with this one because it's got all these different features you can see here. So once we get to level 9, 13, and 17, we get some more class features. So at 9, we get the Cultivated Immunity. When you take acid, necrotic, or poison damage, you reduce the damage by your proficiency bonus plus surgeon modifier. Additionally, you cannot become diseased and have an advantage on saving throws, but you resist becoming poisoned. Now, once we get ourselves to level 13, you expand your crit range to 2, and now applies to all creatures other than constructs, oozes, and plants, so you get a 10% boost to your critical hit chance. Moreover, when you apply a debuff with a sneak attack, you deal sneak attack damage. And you can use your rogue level in place of a d20 for medicine checks. Additionally, you can replicate the effects of healer contagion once for short rest, although they must be cast at melee range. Really cool. This turns the rogue into somewhat of a like hybrid healer health potion support class. So yeah, this is a very well done class mod that I think is worth checking out. So those are the best mods of the week in Baldur's Gate 3. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll link all the mods in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.